Jangling Judas, don't play with me, I'm chasing niggas, bitch, you bought the major leagues. Long stocking, PP, long stocking, more problems, more bodies, won't find them, local lakes is getting crowded.
This is my full mod Razor MX650 72-volt mini moto. In this video, I'm going to show a start to finish build, list pros and cons, and go take this thing to absolutely rip. But before we gotta get into the parts list. Starting off, we got the MX650 frame and powder coat, $125 and $400. Here's where I got my powder coat done. I would definitely recommend them. They did an amazing job and super well done. Let's just look at the swing arm and extensions powder coated. The ride or die 4 to 5 inch extensions for $150. The powder coat is actually blue, but it looks more of a black normally, but I think it looks great. For the powertrain, we have a Conray KR5V for $265. A Hot Pack 72 volt 30 amp hour battery, $724. We got a FX throttle and Razor Designs motor cover, $60 and $185. Moving on, this is fully custom. It's a 12 volt accessory system for $80. These are all my lights, and I probably paid around $300 for it, and I got a new rock light now. Here's my 12 volt horn and my Razor Designs controller mounts, $15 and $20. Here I'm just showing off my wiring harness, but here's my far driver controller for $150. Up next are my custom 1214 dirts with MX34s for $110 and $200. These are 12-inch supermotos from Midwest Mini Watts with Kenda curved tires for $350. These are Renthal KLX 110 bars, $110. This plate is from ENC Forks, and the MX department decal was $45. YBE triple clamps to $70 in the front fender. These tubes were from Ride or Die, and they're about $130. These are the matching fork guards, and I do have decals for them now from MX department. Up next are some $35 Amazon CNC pegs and an ROV Performance 35 chain. For my brakes, they were full custom for about $200. It's a Starkvarg master cylinder with an 85 rear caliper. One of the major things is the Razor Designs bolt-on foot brake with a KTM 85 front brake as a caliper. D&M shock, $180. Front mudguard and Footlock, both $30. Full titanium was about $200 from Razor Designs. Rear 220mm was $30. Front 180 rotor, $20. 70 tooth YBE 35 sprocket, $80. I worked with MX department to create these beautiful CR50 graphics. I found a design I liked, and I asked them to make it in chrome to match the build. They got me right. This is a CR50 tall seat and gut seat cover for $30 and $80. Right off the bat, let's put the swing arm on. Make sure it's really nice and tight because you don't want that falling off. Next, we're putting on the pegs. All you gotta do is put the pin in. It's kind of hard because of the powder coat, but then you put a washer and then this little safety wire, and then you want to just wrap it around. If you get your extensions powder coat, ask your powder coater to mask off these spots so it's easier and it just slips on just like this. These are titanium swing arm extension bolts from Razor Designs. All my holes are pre-drilled, but normally you would drill them out. Make sure you use Loctite on every single bolt and nut, and tighten really hard because you really just don't want these falling off while riding.
Things to be beautiful. I forgot things could be beautiful. I forgot it was an option. I had given up hope. I want things to be beautiful.
Alright, now we're going to go put in the D&M 220mm rear shock. It's going to be really hard because the powder coat makes everything so much tighter and it's just kind of annoying. Basically, the easiest way is to just screw it in like this and, just repeat on both sides. Already, it's looking just so amazing. The two-color fade powder coat is just so perfect. Here we're going inside to get a 3D print from Razor Designs. It's a battery block which helps your battery be able to stay flush. Basically, the whole function is that you can keep your battery tray looking nice and not having to bend it out. It just makes your battery able to sit flush and perfectly, just ratchet strap down. Here I'm just getting the head tube bearings out of the packaging, and then I'm just going to get them ready to grease and tap it in. So, since it's powder coated, it got stripped, and it's just going to be really easy to hammer in with both sides. Use a softener to make it a lot easier. Now we're going to tap in the bottom headset. And then make sure you use waterproof or marine grease. Just the best so you don't get any water intrusion. Just Get it everywhere. It needs to be just everywhere, all there, to make sure it's super nice. A lot of people forget to put the steering stops back on, but I think they're really crucial to help giving you perfect and like not hitting your frame or gas tank. Now I'm just gonna put the bottom triple clamp on with the bearing. Make sure that's greased, everything's greased, including the axle too. Here I'm putting in titanium triple clamp bolts from Razor Designs so I can just easily slide the forks in and tighten them down so they can stay in place. My ride or die tubes are definitely blown, but I have 680mm forks from Midwest Mini Mods coming soon. Again, you can tell they're just super blown. Just look at all the oil there. Right here we have Razor Designs titanium fork guard bolts, and it's kind of boring, so I'm just going to speed this up for y'all. Here's how it looks right now with the forks on. I think the silver triple clamps go really well with the black tubes. Right here we got the Razor Designs far driver adjustable controller mounts, and here I'm grabbing my controller to put it on. Installation is pretty straightforward. All you do is just put them over the frame and then put the bolts in. Then on the underside, just put a nut there, and it kind of like self-tightens on itself, so all you gotta do is twist down. Next are the Renthals KLX 110 bars. I like them a lot better than the 50 bars, honestly. It feels kind of nicer when they're lower. Utilizing the stock bar clamps and some Razor Designs titanium, I think it just looks really great after you polish them. That's all you gotta do. A quick tip is to align the bars with the markings. Just helps you keep your bars straight and perfectly aligned. Anyways, here's more titanium. Literally everything is going to be titanium on this bike, not a single bolt stock. I like to put my 3-speed in my bars, so what you do is you want to just unscrew everything and you want to clip that little thing that keeps it in place right there if you can see it. After everything's off, you want to use a heat gun, just heat it up around, and then once it's hot enough, it'll just let me pull apart. Just pull it apart, put it over the bars, and then put the nut and bolt back in. Now that you're done, just tighten it down, and then it'll be good. Alright, this may look weird, but it's just a mount for your horn, so it's in the perfect place to be as loud as possible. Putting it on is the exact same process as the controller mounts. You just kind of want to hold it in a little better so they can like grip in. Now we're going to put on my Baja Designs S2 Pro. It's kind of tedious, like these weird little spiky washers kind of just suck to put in, so just going to speed it up, let y'all watch. One of the things I'm most excited for is the FX throttle. As I know of, it's the only FX throttle on a far driver and on a modded Razor. best. They recommend leaving a little gap so like when you drop it, like the tube doesn't get messed up. But honestly, I actually didn't like it like that, so I didn't do that. Do not listen to me on that one. My bike ended up dropping and the throttle tube got pushed in and the magnets misaligned and it just does not work. Thankfully, because of FX Throttle's great customer service, I'm sending it in and they're going to ship it back out for free after they fix it. My sprocket is super worn, so I got a new one from EMF Electric Moto family with EMF Cole Schaefer. He's a great guy. 100% recommend the company. The easiest way to take the sprocket off is to touch two of the phase wires together and then just crank down with the DeWalt impact. See how it's locked right now? So let's finish it off. Now all you gotta do is pull it off. If it's hard, just use a spanner and just hit it with a hammer. Just look at how badly worn my old sprocket was. I really needed a new one. So let's put the new one on. And just repeat the step backwards. And remember, it's lefty tighty, righty loosey. And just make sure you use lots of Loctite. Putting the motor in is kind of annoying, so I'm just going to cut to where I'm bolting it down. But it's pretty straightforward. You just don't want to scratch any of the paint or your powder coat. This also is very annoying because of the position you're in, and I should have honestly done it before I bolted down my controller. But basically, you just want to go black to black, red to red, and then match all your phase colors to the other phase wires. This is a little close-up of all the wires. You see how it matches, and you'll see the extra wires of my 12-volt converter that go under the black and red power wires. Here's a close-up of all the titanium, and it looks really good. It just contrasts super well with the colors, and it just rounds up all bikes. Now I'm just going to speed up all the wires I'm going to tuck in and just all the small details. Now we're going to put the seat and plastics on. It's just 3 bolts and now it's done. And here we're going to take a look at the MX department decals. They just look so great on the bike. It just really just adds together. Now we're going to put on the brakes, and it's pretty straightforward, but the only hard part is that we're going to have to lower the fork tube so that the brake line can go through. Now I'm just going to finish bolting on the plastics, and let's just take a look at all this Razor Designs titanium just everywhere up top. Let's just take a look at these MX department graphics. Shop MX department as always for everything. Just looks so clean. And look at all this wire management. Please do your wire management well. It just makes every bike cleaner. Now let's put on the front fender, and it already has the holes pre-drilled to mount, but you gotta drill a hole for the big stem bolt. Just take a look at this beautiful front plate decal. It's just so amazing. Shop MX department as always. I got both half waffle and no waffle, but I think I'm just going to stick with the no waffle like I always do because they're just feeling better. To put grips on, all you got to do is spray brake clean on the bars and in the grip, and they'll just slide right on. In a little bit, it'll evaporate and it'll be fully solid. This is the bolt-on Razor Designs foot brake. Installation is easy. All you got to do is put it on the frame and put the back clamp on, and then just bolt it on, tighten it down, just do the top then the bottom, and it's very easy. Okay, now that it's installed, we can just put on everything else on the bike. Now let's put on the rotors and the sprocket, and all using Razor Designs titanium. This is the MotoWatts bolt-on footlock. It takes 30 seconds to install and is the best footlock out there for all razors. Installation is super simple. All you gotta do is push that bolt through the frame and then add the included spacer on and then twist and tighten it. Now I'm just gonna put my hot packs battery in with the battery block. All you gotta do is use a ratchet strap. Mine was $2 from Home Depot. It's like a husky black one. Now I'm gonna plug in my battery and turn on the breaker, which I added. It's a nice feature to have, just a little more convenient. Your motor definitely shouldn't sound like that, but mine just has so much sand in it. So. Now I'm going to put the front and rear wheel on, which is just a lot of work. So I'm going to speed it up and probably cut in and out of a lot of parts. These are aftermarket chain tensioners for like a KLX 110 or something. But my YB ones snapped, so I had to get these ones that fit perfectly. At this point, it was like 2 a.m. and I couldn't do any more fabrication because it was just too loud. So I went to bed and woke up the next day to finish it. Off camera, I fabricated a mount for the KTM 85 front brake caliper, and this is how it looks. That was the last thing to complete the build, so let's check it out.
I know these motherfuckers mad at me. Got a sweet tooth, but I ain't got cavities. Say that I bite, but they don't want to bite with me. Yeah, I stand on what I say, man. Check the receipts. Get that dick out your mouth, chubby bunny challenge. Yeah, you do too much, you gotta find balance. I'm a fucking savage. Yeah, I do damage. I ain't lie about a ting, but they been capping. I don't fuck
Shop
with
Razor
anybody.
Designs, not net. Shop MX department.
Alright, now that the build is done, let's just go take it for a ride. I think it's doing.
Yeah, if you can see up there, that's the hill we're about to go through. That's the hill. Big hill. It's like an extreme fire hazard right here. Nah, we go up right here. Yeah. 2, 1. Luke has Lyme disease. Look at the Razor Designs. No, look here. Razor Designs footbrake. Alright, after all this, here's what I got extra. I got these MX Department fork guard decals. And I also got some new aluminum silver rims because my stainless steel ones were not stainless and they're just rusting. So I got some new ones. I also did get rolled. It's just a warning, so I'm chilling. I'm going to keep it. Let's get to pros and cons. Pros got to be price, parts variation. It's really good speed, torque, and power. It's pretty reliable in some cases. It's pit bikes, so they're always fun. And the cops sometimes don't care. The cons gotta be that they're kind of hard to build and they're pretty confusing. The worst thing gotta be that they're a money pit though. Anyways, thank you for watching. Make sure to subscribe and I'll see you in the next video.